This song, fucking best song ever. What's up? It's Jomboy and Jake Radio. It is Friday, April 12th, and last day of the week. Feelings Week is over. Song that we play every Friday is here. And that's about how that goes. Jake, how are you doing?
Good morning, James. James Vincent. How are you doing?
I'm feeling like shit. Felt really, really sick and drowsy all yesterday, and I thought it might have just been because I was up till 4 a.m. and the day before, but I don't know. I just feel like trash.
Okay.
How are you doing?
Like internally, is it a head thing? Where are you at, bud? Let's work through it.
Yeah, head thing. It feels like allergies, but it's not. Just like my eyes. I told Katie that I wish I could drink water through my eyes because you get like a dry throat and you can drink water and it feels like fantastic. The area behind my eyes just feels cloudy, and like if I could just spread water throughout it, feels like that would feel really good.
And have you tried drinking through your eyes yet?
No, but it's been a joke I do for a while where I just take the coffee cup and put it to my, or a beer at a bar and put it to my eye and pretend.
Right.
That's been so maybe there is something. Maybe I want to be an eye drinker for a long time now. But yeah, I feel really drowsy and cloudy.
I'm sorry, bud.
It's all right. How are you? Fun day on the mountain.
Good weekend to be hanging out inside. Yeah, man, snuck out on the slopes yesterday. They got dumped on, so it was like International Powder Day in Denver. Like I think I mentioned on here, I was pretty happy that my ski season was over. And then the girlfriend was like, "Hey, I heard they're getting a lot of snow. Maybe I'll play hooky on Thursday from work." And she's like, she's kind of goody two shoes type. So I'm like, hooky from work? You could have said anything, and I was basically going to say yes to that.
I haven't heard the term play hooky in a long time.
Yeah, that's a clear sign that she's never done it before.
I don't think anyone that plays hooky has ever referenced it as playing hooky.
Exactly. That's the number one sign that she like read in a 1980s book, someone talking about playing hooky, and she was like, I got to try this. So, and by the way, she didn't. She like told her boss, she's like, hey, I think there's a lot of snow coming tomorrow. You think it'd be cool if I didn't come in? And they were like, don't tell me that. They were like, it's fine, but don't tell me that.
That's
so
funny.
She basically didn't play hooky. But yeah, man, they had like 14 inches of snow in the mountains. And yeah, man, bunch of powder hounds up there, which I don't know. It was the most powder I've ever skied in. It was cool. Like, you get it. I didn't fully understand when people were like being powder hounds before, but it's a different kind of skiing. It is fun though. It's exhausting though. You have to work that much harder, which worked out for us because I mean by 11:30 we were toast. So it was kind of just like a nice morning.
How many runs is that?
I mean, we were there for first lift, so I mean it was like, I don't know, we went hard from 8:30 to 11:30, so that's 9:30, 10:30. 3 hours of like hard skiing. I mean we probably got, I don't know, somewhere between 8 and 10, something like that. It's not a ton, but it's for the end of the season, what we were doing, it worked out. And then, man, you get back, you're just exhausted, lazy Thursday mode. Was watching some of the Masters, and then winded the day down, Jimmy, by watching some season 3 of Queer Eye, which, if you're not watching, you're a fool.
You watched the episode where they do the Tom girl who's in all camo?
Maybe. I'm forgetting which episodes I've watched. Last night we watched the 2 moms that have the barbecue place.
Yeah.
and we watched The Dad Who's a Camp Counselor.
Which is your favorite Queer Eye guy?
Oh, so we did a little bit of this yesterday. I mean, Jonathan is the easy consensus number one.
I don't know their names. I just describe them as what part they.
He's the hair guy.
Oh, easy consensus, least favorite out of me and Katie.
Oh, wow. You guys are missing out on the world because he's a superhero.
I think he's the worst part of that show.
He's a superhero. I think if you got a consensus number one from the world, he's easy number one.
He's the one where if I was on Queer Eye, he would be the one where like, I don't want to be around this one.
Wow. That's I don't know if you realize you're dropping a nuke.
That was, I mean, I watched it in California with my whole family, and there was a consensus in that room too. It was like, geez,
wow,
he's too much.
That's yeah, I think that's a shocker. Everyone, I actually reached out to a couple of the group chats because Jess and I were talking about it, and Jonathan was the easy number one. From there, things fall apart. I think the other consensus I saw with the people I talked to, we're bringing in a new pundit here. Bobby and Anton, the chef and the remodel guy, they were kind of bottom tier.
Bobby, wait, no, the chef is Anton. Yeah.
Yep.
I like Anton.
He just doesn't bring a lot, man. Like, yeah. I think I've watched I want to say like 25 episodes now or whatever it is, and yesterday he got his first laugh out of me.
We're watching it for different reasons. I like the food that he prepares, and I love the work that Bobby does. Like, he changes houses, and I think he's the best at his job.
Oh, it's amazing. He's extremely talented, but I mean, bringing it to the show in an entertainment value, he's not bringing too much.
I'm more entertained by like the actual transformation than the non.
Well, then you should love the hair guy. The hair and the makeover part is usually the most dramatic part.
Yeah, but he's annoying as fuck. And I like Tan sometimes. Wow.
Yeah, Tan and Karamo, those were the 2 and 3 normally that I saw from people.
I like Karamo the person, but we skip his segment of the show every time because don't care.
Yeah, that was kind of what we got from everyone as well. Like, he tries to get a little too deep. Like, cool dude, has some fun, but yeah, his segments usually kind of
The segments kind of suck. I just like the transformation. That show should be half hour, but it's an hour.
Oh, I love everything about it. I was a mess last night watching it.
I cried at one of them, but it was from season 1.
Yeah. There's a few that get you crying, a few that get you laughing. I mean, usually you cover the spectrum in all of it. I mean, I think Evan and Co are going to be down your throat for that JVN comment.
I don't care. That guy sucks.
Wow.
He's the reason I like can't watch 2 episodes in a row. I'm like, oh my God, get him off my screen.
That's tough. He's hilarious. He's one of my favorite people on television, I'd say.
Crazy. And I hate how they stage them watching the TV at the end. Like,
yeah, the end's not great.
There's too much that's staged on the show that bothers me. It should just be like half hour. Like, I don't need them watching a fake screen and giving me fake reactions.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that gives them a chance. People could say that about us with some Talking Yank stuff. I think that's kind of them.
But we don't fake anything.
No, but I don't know. When we relived a couple of the plays from last year, I don't know. It gives them a forum to try to make some jokes and stuff.
I'm saying, like, they're not actually watching the date. Like, it's very clear they're not actually watching the date. They're looking at a blank wall.
And just saying some comments?
Yes.
So what are they watching?
Nothing.
How would they do that?
They just set it up for production. It's like acting. It's like, if you pay attention to it, I pointed out to Katie and my family, it's very clear they're not watching anything. They're just giving reactions. And I think it's a dumb way to go about it.
Okay.
There was one where like the chef gets up and then like goes and now he's on the date and then he comes back. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
This is the fakest thing in the world.
Yeah. I remember that one. I know what you're talking about.
I don't need all of that.
Yeah, I don't know. Great show. Agree to disagree early. Let's see what else we got.
I do think it's a good show. Like people would like, can't believe you guys watch Queer Eye. There's some good stuff you can learn from it for sure.
It's a great show. And everyone should watch.
I watch bits and pieces. I don't know. What else do you got? Do you want to rank your day yesterday? Skiing and Queer Eye. Sounds like you had a blast.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yesterday was great. Masters. I mean, we're going to talk a little more about that, but I got to watch a little bit of that. Did have a little bit because I mean we were back home exhausted by like 2, so I threw on the Masters, which was nice, and then I was kind of did this like, shoot, like what else should I be doing right now? Because this is what I'm going to be doing all weekend. Like, is there something else I should be doing right now? And there kind of wasn't. Like I was clicking around a little bit. I was going through Yankees Twitter. There was nothing there for me yesterday until late night when the Gary fake news kind of came out. We'll see what's going on with that. But yesterday was good. Yesterday was 6-6. 6-6-6.
I just put on NBC Sports and Big Cat's on doing his segment with his suit jacket on.
Nice.
It's always cool.
Yeah.
I followed him when he was literally just called into a radio.
Yeah.
6-5.
6-6-6. What was your day?
My day was a 4.
Wow.
Took a lot of naps. Work things kept piling up since we were basically customer service and we're a company of 2 people.
Right.
So like emails kept coming in and it's like I'm trying to take my day off, but can't just not respond to customers and shit like that. And then so I just had my laptop out. I did watch Lion King. That was nice. Because the
new one or old one?
No, the new one's not out yet. So I was watching the old one, just like I really like Lion King. Let's look at this. It was all right. No, it was good. It's actually really good for. I don't like cartoons, but I cooked dinner. That was nice. Cooked some air fried chicken, so healthy fried chicken, broccoli and mushrooms. It was good dinner.
I see you have lunch with Grandma.
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, we do that a lot. I was really out of it. Like I don't even think I said a word. She's my neighbor. She was wearing my shirt. She wears all the shirts I make, so that cracks me up every time.
Nice.
Like all of them, her other grandchildren could make her shirts and she'd wear them the same, but they don't, and I do.
Right.
But I don't care about that. I just act like, oh, Grandma's wearing my shirt and not yours. And then they're like, she doesn't have a shirt. And I'm like, well, your fault.
Right.
Your fault. But yeah, solid 4. Not great. I'm hoping that I feel better today.
Okay.
Got to try to drink water through my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, at least try it.
Katie was laughing at me, and then I told her fully why I want to drink water through my eyes, and she was like, okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I think it would really clear things up. I also said if it was warm weather right now, I'd go jump in the ocean, and it would clear me right up. Ocean water is magic for cloudiness. Oh, I think I'd got to be so cold. Ocean really doesn't get warm until late July.
You take cold showers, in and out, hit it and quit it.
Yeah, but the ocean's a different kind of cold than a shower because you're fully submerged.
Okay.
And then there's the wind factor.
Sure.
It'd be a polar plunge. I want to do polar plunge.
Then you get back inside the house and you're warm again.
Yeah. That is true. Nothing like defrosting over a cup of hot chocolate coming out in the cold.
He's gonna drink through his eyes today. I'm feeling it.
Let's do the sports. The Jets signed Ty Montgomery to back up Le'Veon Bell. The Yankees got swept by the Astros and right now are in the middle of finding out if Gary's hurt or not. No one knows. It's up in the air. They got 3 games set with the White Sox coming up in New York. Brooklyn is playing against Philly in the NBA playoffs, which start on Sunday. And the Islanders win in overtime, go up 1-0 on the Pens. Game 2 is tonight. The draft is coming up for the Jets and Giants, and I feel like Giants fans are on the edge of their seat, Jake, because they have no idea what direction the team is going to go, and there are so many directions they can go that really hinder the future. So that's kind of interesting stuff, and that's about it. Whew.
Oh.
Yankees.
The Gary stuff's kind of fun, and I think we could talk about that a little bit.
Fun in a gut
fun in an awful way, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun in a curiosity way.
Did you see my thread yesterday?
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Did I convince you?
I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say convince is the right word. There's like a couple different options out there that are very believable. And there's going to be one finite tweet or statement at one point that says A or B, but either Gary Sanchez is hurt or they use the reliever, like you mentioned, that they brought up, Joe Harvey. And before they brought up CeCe, because Gary's nicked up, they just brought up a third catcher just to do it because Gary's might not be able to catch. Yeah. So Jim, I mean, the biggest thing that you have to be hopeful on that is you and I have been doing everything we can to not be mad at the Yankees' actual training staff and like weightlifting staff, because right now you just have to like knock on wood and say, okay, this has to be terrible luck because the Yankees training staff can't be so porous that 12 of their guys are hurt to start this season. That would be including Gary. But Jimmy, if they pinch hit Gary the other day and then it comes out he's hurt now, like everyone's going to be like, how? So I'm hoping you're right.
Yeah, I have some points that were real and some were fake in my thread. And listen, they could say Gary's to the DL right now, and I would not be shocked. But the other option is interesting. It's still not great because it means Gary can't catch. But what about this, Jake? If they knew Gary was going to the DL, they wouldn't never have started Higgy in his minor league game because Higgy got pulled halfway through the game.
Right. The whole, if this was even an option, why would you be playing?
Yeah, if there was 50% chance Gary was going to go to DL and Higgy was going to get called up, I feel like they wouldn't have started Higgy. My second point was if they didn't know, like we said, that Gary was going to be injured, and then they pulled Higgy at 9 p.m. Like, why would they find out at 9 p.m. on an off day? Like, Gary just texting them? Or do they go for, like, late MRIs? That's, like, the timing's weird. And I'm convincing myself of these things.
Right, and then, like, we could just be shuttered on if it was just, like, yeah, Gary felt his calf tighten up at 9 p.m., and that's what everything happened. So that would suck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that would just suck.
Yeah. And then, Boone, my third reason was Boone rewatched the game where he couldn't pinch hit Gary for Romine because Gary can't catch, and was like, well, I don't want that to happen again. Let's call up Higgy. And then my fourth reason was I really, really want it to be this and not that Gary was hurt. And my fifth reason was, come on, injury guys can't be this ruthless.
Yeah, 4 and 5 were strong. I'm not sure about the first three. Yeah.
I got a lot of the opposite responses.
Yeah, as you should have. Yeah, man. I mean, we'll find out in a little bit. It's gonna be incredible if the Yankees are missing the top 5 of their 7 hitters. CeCe's coming back this weekend. Help us, CeCe. You're our only hope. A little Star Wars joke there, Jim.
Big belly season.
BBS. So. That was a little talking Yanks. Our Metropolitans beat the Braves. They're in a 4-game set going on. I mean, still go the Mets, right? 8-4, first in the East, babe.
Yeah, go Mets. Mats is pitching today versus Gausman. Gausman's on the Braves.
That was yesterday.
What did Gausman do? Because he sucks.
I mean, the Mets won 6-3, so let's see. Gausman's 1-1 on the year. Those are the Mets. Let's see your Atlanta Braves.
5.2 foreign runs.
He's got a 2.84 ERA in the year so far for Gausman. So maybe he just had to get out of Baltimore.
The AL East, probably. In Miami, he's got for. Hey, that's interesting. I always know the AL East is hard because it's a bunch of hitter-friendly parks.
Right.
And the DH. And
Right.
for a while, there's just been like the Red Sox and the Yankees are usually good.
Right.
Is the NL East all pitcher-friendly parks?
No, Philly's a bandbox.
Yeah, Philly, you're right. But Miami and Mets, those are pitcher-friendly. What about Washington? What's that?
I mean, it's ish. I wouldn't say Miami used to be like big time pitchers park. They've made some changes to the stadium to kind of bring it in. I think a lot of those parks would be labeled as like neutral now.
What about Braves?
They're the new stadium. I don't have the dimensions in front of me. I'd lean slightly closer to pitcher than hitter.
And I think Miami and
I think Miami's the only one that you're like, yeah, that's a pitcher's park.
Interesting. So that might be a really nice change. There's a website called andrewclem.com, and he's got overlays of every stadium.
It's fun.
You can just like click 2 and overlay them. It's kind of cool. Which one we were not? So Miami is 386 to left center, 407 to dead center, 392 to right center, 335 down the line, and 344 down the left field line. So that's not small.
No, and it's at sea level. That's kind of the bigger thing.
Yeah. That's not small.
I think that's the funny thing, that there's just ballparks where the ball travels. Like, I think if you looked at Toronto's just straight up dimensions, you'd be like, oh, Toronto's kind of pitchers friendly. But I mean, that's a bandbox too.
It looks like Nationals Park is more right up the middle. 336 down the line, 377 to the left, 402 to center, 370 to right, 335 down the line. That seems like
it's neutral.
Average. Yeah, neutral all around. Yeah. All right, interesting. Why did the Jets sign Ty Montgomery?
I kind of like it for them. I think Ty ended up having a tough year last year when he got cut from Green Bay after he tried to return that kick when he was supposed to take a knee. And then he just kind of went on Baltimore and did a couple things, but not too much. But if you have Le'Veon Bell on your team, you're planning on passing to the running back a lot. And I think Ty Montgomery's good at that. So I kind of like it from that perspective. I know that's not necessarily a deep dive into what those guys do, but I mean, I don't think they're paying him a ton of money. It could be a nice little backfield for them.
All right. What do you think the Giants do in the draft here? So many ways. Do they make a trade and take Murray? Do they make a trade for Rosen? Do they keep Eli and get Dwayne?
I mean, they have to bring in someone. I think if they don't make a move, they're there at 6 and Haskins is there. You just have to take them.
Bobby from Talking Giants really is on the Rosen
train, which I don't hate. And I think they have the 2 second-round pick, 37 overall. Like, if they did that, I think everyone kind of gives a firm handshake and you say, sure, like, let Eli and this guy Polka for a little bit and then hopefully have Eli pass the reins. But I'm excited. My big NFL draft dive stuff, I think, is going to be after this weekend. I mean, Masters, NBA, NHL playoffs, Thrones on Sunday, Talking Yanks. Subscribe. So I haven't been as deep into the NFL draft as I want yet, but soon.
Well, if we have any Giants fan listeners, Bobby and Danny from Talking Giants, we're going to do like a big announcement that they exist soon. But they've been doing, like, their last 4 episodes are Josh Rosen and the 2019 wide receiver class. Then they did cornerbacks and safeties, running backs and tight ends, and linebacker draft class. So they've been going through all the positions in the draft class. It's kind of interesting. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been just seeing some of their stuff on Instagram and Twitter, and I've liked it a lot. I'm excited to get my teeth in, see where I'm into it and I'm different. I think it's funny because I'm coming from more of a broad stroke perspective. Like Bobby can talk about like, oh, this guy's great in zone coverage. I would never stick him out there in man. And I'm kind of coming in like, yeah, he played some good football. I'd give him a chance. So I think you're getting slightly better analysis from Bobby, but I'm excited to talk to him soon because he's not scared to put himself out there I think, in a way that we slightly wouldn't. But he's like, this guy will be a good player. And I think a lot of people try to tiptoe around the NFL draft a little more than that. Because, it with anything with the draft, you need the right situation. And anything can go right, anything could go wrong. So I'm excited to see how that all plays out.
Nice. And the Islanders game, I didn't catch any of it. I really want to make sure I watch these games and the Masters, but Yankees will see what goes on, because sometimes the Yankees have me in a foul mood, like last series, like ruins the rest of my TV watching. Like, I've been doing these breakdowns because people like them, Jake, and my goal was to do a breakdown a day, find the weirdest play in baseball that day and talk about it.
Right.
Or most interesting play. But the Yankees lose, and it's like, I can't go make a joking video now.
Right.
I'm fucking angry.
Right. Oh, look at this. Look at the Padres drop this pop-up. Like, no, it's not as fun anymore.
Yeah. So fucking Yankees, just win.
Dude, that Islanders game must have been rocking. I mean, it was in Long Island. And they win in overtime against the Penguins. We might need somebody from Evan and Co, who's a big Islanders fan, to tell us how nuts it was.
908-845-5792. Call in and just say, that Islanders game, it was nuts. And you're on the show. And we'll go to the national news.
Jimmy, a tradition unlike any other, the Masters. Day one leaders, Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, two of my personal kind of least favorite golfers, but they were hitting some good balls yesterday. Jimmy, we've got a stacked leaderboard. Phil, Dustin, Tiger, Rahm, Day, Scott, Ricky. So the Masters is teeing up to be a good one, Jim. The Red Sox come back from being down 5-0 in the third, win 7-6. Does that get them started? Your Mariners, Jim, 13-2. Set MLB record 15 straight games with a homer. That's fun, Seattle. Whit Merrifield's hit streak ends at 31. Ozzie Albies extension, 7 for 35. A lot of drama in the baseball world over that. NBA playoffs start this weekend. Not for the Grizzlies and Kings, who head coaches get fired. Surpriser for the Kings there. The Leafs beat the Bruins last night. Caps fended off the Hurricanes. And the Flames could not be put out by my Avalanche.
Wow. Wow. What do you want to talk about first? I didn't catch any of the Masters.
Dude, so it was pretty good. Strategery by the people that plan the Masters. They had a lot of the better players playing late. There's a couple groups that got out early, like Tiger and Ricky were there out early, but the leaderboard was -3 was the leader for a long time. And then like the finishing groups were like Phil, Dustin, DeChambeau, Koepka, a couple other guys, and they kind of put the pedal to the floor a little bit. I guess the wind died down. So they were hitting some shots. DeChambeau had a fun shot from like 200 out that rolled, and it was funny. It rolled up, it hit the pin and kicked out, and his whole thing has been leaving the pin in. So that was a little fun. Dude, Koepka is Mike Trout. Brooks Koepka is really good. He has like a big generic smile. Like on paper, it looks like we should be interested in him. But then you see it happen and you're just like, this doesn't do anything for me.
Why?
It's Mike Trout effect, man.
You're not into Mike Trout? Like I know it.
I appreciate him and I appreciate Brooks Koepka, but like when you actually see it happening, you're not like, I've got to go out of my way to watch Mike Trout highlights or go watch Brooks Koepka highlights.
Oh, I'm that way with Trout. I think it's amazing to watch him.
How often are you watching Trout highlights?
If they come on, or if like he does something, like I'll tune in. Or like if the Angels are on late night, I'll tune in for Trout at bats.
Yeah, I don't know.
He robbed a home run the other day just casually. Like Trout's awesome.
I saw that. I mean, dude, Koepka's the same way, but like, dude, think about how many golfers you would name on a popularity level before you got to Brooks Koepka.
I don't even know that name, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's won a bunch of if he wins the Masters, he's on pace to win a Grand Slam. He won the whole like golf tournament, whatever they call it, the FedEx Cup. Last year, 2 years ago, he's arguably the best player in the game. Like that was all the articles that came out today was that Brooks Koepka is the best player, but nobody really cares about him. So that was my comparison there. But yeah, man, it's fun. My hope for today is that all the big names just keep it moving. Because if they do that today, the weekend is going to be awesome. Awesome.
What's the leaderboard at right now? It's not crazy.
So Koepka and DeChambeau are at -6. Your boy Phil Mickelson is at -5. And there's a ton of guys at -3, -2.
And last year, Patrick Reed won it, and he was what, like 16 under?
Somewhere around there. Yeah, I mean it's golf. The fun thing, well, it sounds weird, but I mean the elements. Like you could clearly see from the beginning of the day in the Masters to the end of the day that it became an easier course to play for the players. So I mean, if they get one bad weather day, I mean you could see it land in single digits, but we'll see.
Has the Masters ever been won at like even?
I don't think that low.
283 in 2016. That's pretty high. That's 5 under.
Quick math. You're telling me.
I think that's 5 under.
Well, Sam Snead did win it at +1 in 54. So
there you go. 1987, 285.
Oh man, I think Sam Snead's golfing in his Navy outfit here. I love that. That's Arnie.
Jack Nicklaus won it at even in 1966.
There you go.
Shot par, won the Masters. That's nice.
Bet of clubs. So yeah, it's exciting. I hope it doesn't become a Brooks or Bryson tournament. They are two of my kind of, I don't want to say dislike, but Brooks I mentioned, he just doesn't do much for me. DeChambeau kind of has the whole nerd thing going on.
Yeah, but after DeChambeau interacted with like the Foreplay pod and was giving them shit and was funny, I like him now.
Yeah. I mean, there's a world where I could see myself coming around on Bryson. He had a good reaction, like, oh, he almost hit a hole-in-one, and okay.
They're interviewing Chris Davis right now on the show. That's why I have on a mute right now. The Orioles, Chris Davis.
Yeah.
And he has the eye black on.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking that has to be such a sad moment when he's like 0 for 50. And it's like, all right, let's get ready for this game. It just slowly puts on the eye black. Like, okay.
Today's the day, man.
Here we go. I got my war.
I think that's the most exciting moment of his day. Like everything else after that part is going to suck. I think he's stoked to put on the eye black.
Because it's night games, so it's just for like getting in the moment and the feeling. It's literally war paint for baseball. He's 50. Dude, so sad. I'm rooting for him to have a great, fantastic season.
Oh, I mean, that's gone. But I'm rooting for him to get a hit. Jim, you want to apologize to all of our Seattle listeners?
Not in the slightest. What am I apologizing for?
Their Mariners are hot, baby. It's not just claps in the upper Northwest nowadays.
If I can't say the season's over for the Yankees, then I can't get happy for the Mariners. Surely.
Boom, roasted. Go clap with your coffee roasters.
I mean, who's going to give them a run for their money?
Excuse me?
They should be a wild card team. Right? Like the Central should only have one team. And then I think it would be...
I mean, it's the AL East teams.
Yeah, and the Rays might be in there for a wild card team.
Oh, the Rays are definitely going to be there. They're really good.
Well, then if you're saying the Rays are going to be there, then you think the Yankees and Braves are both going to be there. Then the two wild cards are coming out of the East.
Well, Red Sox over the Braves in the AL East, but
yeah.
Maybe this is New York Hardo. I think Boston's going to struggle this year. I just think it's World Series hangover. I mean, and we've seen Boston do this before, so it's not not that much of a hot take. Seattle's gonna be there.
Keith Law's 85 wins for the Yankees because of injuries. I mean, Keith Law's right now is rubbing his hands saying, "Told you so."
Yeah, and he could be right. Yeah, no, I mean, Seattle has a definite chance to be there. They could also be like the Mets last year. I think the A's, the Angels are fighting back. It'll be interesting to see who is there at the end. Good for Seattle.
Good for Seattle. I'm not apologizing to their fans, though.
Okay.
Ever. And I finished Cheers and I watched the first 2 episodes of Frasier, and it's set in Seattle, and it makes me like it less, and that's rude. And that's something
you started watching Frasier?
I watched the first 2 episodes. I just wanted to see.
Boy.
No, I'm out. I'm out. Not interested in that show. I just wanted to see how they transitioned, like the first episode.
Right.
But
then why'd you watch the second episode?
Because I was editing, and then I just needed background noise. It might be an edit background noise show, but it's
Why are you watching the 3rd episode right now?
I mean, the brother
Niles
seems annoying. Like, it just seems like Frasier was the one kind of annoying, smart character.
Right.
Years, and everyone else was lovable, a different thing.
Sure.
Going on. And now it seems like Frasier's going to be the least annoying one, and his brother is going to be the more obnoxious one.
He kind of alphas his brother, and the dad's supposed to kind of be the anchor.
Yeah, and it seems too annoying. Like, it seems.
Let me know after this weekend. Let me know what you thought of the first 2 seasons.
No, because I pivoted and I'm catching up on Game of Thrones. Like, I'm just watching random scenes here and there of Game of Thrones.
I'll say this: if you've watched Game of Thrones, normally you can only do that with like a comedy. Like, you could just throw on any episode of The Office or Scrubs or whatever show you like, and you're like, this is cool. If you know what's up in Thrones, you can just throw on a random episode and appreciate like how good it is.
Well, there's so many things that you missed. Like, I never watched an episode twice. Well, there's some that I have because like I watched them with another person.
Right.
But I never rewatched the series twice.
Right.
And so I watched the first episode, and it opens up with the White Walker scene. And like, when I first watched it, I didn't know what White Walkers were. Like, it was just a nonsense word to me. So it is interesting to watch, but I don't have time to watch everything.
No.
The writer put out 21 episodes that you should watch before it comes out. And it's like, well, dude, why didn't you tell us this? Like, that's 21 hours of TV, and the finale or the season starts soon. You should tell us this way earlier.
I mean, you can. I've seen you cook through that.
In the old days, I wish I still could.
Get those once you take that salt bath in your eyes, you're gonna be ready to go.
Andy Martino's getting cold stove. What's that account I don't like? Cold Takes Exposed. It would be malpractice to let Peter Alonso play for the Mets on opening day. He also said, from the beginning, I've said that the Mets needed to take a risk and just start the season with Peter Alonso on the roster. They prioritized so he said, from the beginning, I've said this, and then all his old tweets are saying he hit That's the kind of old takes exposed that I can get behind.
All right.
What I can't get behind, I've said this so many times, is when people are tweeting in the moment. Like, when I tweeted that, Cashman, this is the least fundamentally sound team. Like, come fix this.
Right.
That's an in the moment, my emotions are stirring tweet. And then I had someone like 17 hours later respond to it like, overreact much? Jeez. I was like, dude, don't respond to an in the moment tweet a day later and be like, wow, you overreacted. Like, of course I did. You're in the moment. Your emotions are wild. Shut up. Imagine if everyone on Twitter just tweeted like really, really like, I don't know. You get what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's the give and take of the hot take first one there world.
Yeah. See, that old takes exposed dude, he did a Barstool podcast and was just so lame. And he thinks that he's creating a difference on the internet. Like, he thinks he's writing new laws. He sucks.
Right.
That's why I don't like that account. The guy behind it sucks.
There you go.
Well, there's the half. Jake.
There's a half.
How you doing?
That was like soccer announcer half. I'm good. I'm pretty shook from the Jonathan stuff. I'll just be completely honest with you. I'm doing all right. We missed the Albies thing. That was like a super hot Jeff Passan coming out in all angles. I mean, I think it's a little bit. You have to see how it plays out. It is really odd that he accepted that much money when his teammate and friend Acuna accepted like double it. That's the only thing that's bizarre to me. I don't know, man. Excited. Like, I think after this, my game plan is to like do whatever I need to in the outside world for like, I'm going to give myself an hour on the clock and be like, all right, do we need extra eggs to get through the weekend? Let me get some eggies. Like, what do I need to basically go parole mode this weekend and not have to leave 100 feet outside of my apartment?
Nice.
So that's what I'm bracing for. How you doing? Eyes feeling better, worse? Or as you wake up, are you getting better or worse or in the middle?
Better.
Okay.
Yesterday I left the house. Katie and I went shopping. We got some dog food.
Ooh.
And we went and hung out with my mom. And I felt better because the fresh air feels good. Because I'm on an island. I'm not allergic to the air here. It's like actually good for me. But then as soon as I came back in the house, it just all like crashed again. My face just got heavy and I took a long nap. So I have to overcome it today. There's no option. Yesterday was an off day, so I could have just let it like wallow in the sickness. Like I have so much to do today. So we'll see how it goes. I want to ask you like a quick questions about the Albies extension.
Sure.
It's 7 years, $35 million.
Right.
So how many years of control and arbitration do you have left? 5?
I think so. Yeah, because last year was his rookie season.
Last year, well, he played 57 games in 2017.
Right.
He exceeded his rookie season in 17, but he probably didn't accrue enough service time for a full season, obviously, right?
Yeah, I think he came up later in the year, not to start the season.
Okay. So then he's got 5 years left. So they bought out those and added 2 more.
Yeah, I think the part that's really bizarre is I think there's 2 team option years on the end, which just makes 0 sense. The rest of it, like you can half make sense of. The 2 team years are really bizarre.
He's not that good.
So that's the interesting thing.
Question mark?
Yeah, because he was 21. He made the All-Star team, but his end-of-year stats aren't that impressive. He had a 305 OBP, a 757 OPS, but he was age 21. So you'd like to think after his first full season he will get better. But there's also a world where, like, the league catches up to Ozzy Albies and he's not great. Like,
many of people have busted after having that's not even a breakout year.
Yeah, I mean, I think 24 home runs from a 21-year-old that plays second base.
I'm not trying to knock it. It's if a 21-year-old comes at, they prove like, he proved that he can play at this level for 1 year. But so many people have done that and fallen. Chris Davis, Josh Hamilton, like they did it on a crazier level and then didn't last 6-7 years.
Yeah, they were also a lot older.
I know. I'm just saying, like, baseball is a fickle sport. Not everyone does it one season. It means they're going to do it. But so does this mean 7 years, $35 million? So $5 million a year?
I mean, kind of basically, yeah. And it can go out to 9 for 49 or something like that.
Like if he puts together, what is his agent thinking? I want it to be not on Passan and Keith Law's side because they're kind of annoying about it.
Right.
What is his agent thinking? Because if he puts together an 850 OPS year right now,
right,
he wouldn't get a raise because he's still on his first year. But if he puts together 2 850 OPS seasons, he's going to go to arbitration and get $5 million. And then if he plays really well again, he's going to get $10 million the next year just because you have to do that. And now no matter what he does, he's getting $5 to $9 million, we're saying.
And yeah, I mean, the thing that's even more bizarre, Jim, because again, that's where the 7-year contract, I think if it was there, I don't think people would be too mad about it because he's still so young that he'd hit free agency. I mean, like right before age 30, that if he's still good, I mean, he can get a payday. With those team extension options, they could bring him to 32, which for a guy who's 5'8", and a chunk of his game is relying on speed at this point, it's a little bizarre. And I don't know. I don't know. I think the Riders definitely took this chance to go up and over in a real like guillotine shot to bring this to the forefront, because the 7 for 35 might end up not being that bad if Ozzy Albies doesn't become that good of a player, but there's still a chance he is, and then he could kind of like be screwed.
Yeah, it's weird. But everyone's favorite thing to do is take shots at the MLB, and I did it yesterday. You see me I put together a thread of saying the MLB is so dumb. Did you see this, Jake? The minor league MLB people told all their minor league teams and any website that they're not allowed to have highlights on the internet anymore from minor league players. So Baseball America used to have in-game highlights from all the rookies and the prospects, so you could go find out about them. Literally promoting the game of baseball. And they made them take it all down.
It's bizarre.
I did my whole spiel on it.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. They're just so dumb. So dumb. Let's do some news. And though the news was rather sad, well, I just had to laugh.
Well, it's 6 o'clock. Time for the news.
Hospitals in Japan, I think, are introducing sperm extractors for men who don't want to masturbate when donating sperm because they get nervous or are embarrassed or whatever. 3 naked women told police they were air drying at a Florida rest stop, and then a car chase happened. Man threatens that his army of turtles will destroy us all. Jake, Trampled by Turtles. Good band. I like them. I was in such a panic, says the pregnant Cambridge woman who was attacked by a group of wild turkeys. Imagine if she wasn't in a panic. That was pretty calm. It's a pretty normal day. Man who can't stop jacking off horses, caught twice in 24 hours and has been jailed for 8 months. I repeat, a man who could not stop masturbating horses has been caught twice in the last 24 hours for masturbating horses, and now he's in jail for 8 months for masturbating the horses. I read the news today, oh boy.
So, Jim, I got some bad news for you.
A lot of dick news on this one.
I got bad news for you.
Yeah.
He's not jerking off the horses. But it might be even worse. He's jerking off in front of the horses.
Oh, jerking off over horses.
Yeah, he's got a horse fetish.
So this guy's going, I don't know, what's worse? Masturbating the horses, or just, is he like standing on them? It says over horses.
Yeah, I think that would be the equivalent of, it was like you and I were jacking off over like the Yankees World Series victory. Like, I think that's kind of how it's trying to depict it. I don't think it has to be literally over the top of a horse.
Why is he in jail then?
I mean, there's probably some like public indecency stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
He's got 12 similar offenses on his record for masturbating in public, so there's that.
He got freed from jail for masturbating in front of horses, and he immediately left jail and went to a horse farm and masturbated.
Yeah. He said he's been planning on taking some libido suppressing drugs, but he just had a rush. He had to do it. So
just get this guy some horse pictures. Like just. I mean, listen. Just look at pictures of horses in your house, dude.
Right.
Like, no one goes to live porn sets. They just watch the porn on their screen.
I think some people go to live porn sets. There's probably a market for that.
I filmed a short film in film class at the Armory.
Right.
Which is Kink.com. I never heard of. It's huge. Kink.com. I never really knew what it was. They have a lot of editing jobs, so like a lot of people from the film school go there.
Mm.
Do you remember? Did I ever send you videos of this? So I was on a porn, like it was a shitload of porn sets. We weren't filming a porn. We were filming this other short series. We were just using their sets, but it was weird, man. Like just like bedrooms, and then there was the fucked up shit like caves and chains and balls and bathrooms, and it was like, whoa. And they just film. It's pretty gross. It's sad.
Yeah,
it's sad.
agreed.
It was really sad. It was really sad.
Very hot.
But if you go to the Armory in San Francisco, you can take a tour of it, which it's actually pretty popular because it's like, whoa, this is a weird world. But you walk around this like really nice carpeted hallway, the upstairs, like the office buildings. And on the walls are just pictures from their movies. So it's a bizarre world because, usually you go to a dentist's office and it's nice carpet and there's pictures of just like skylines or scenery.
Good smiles, maybe.
Yeah. And it's just all a bunch of hardcore porn shots. It's wild.
It's art.
Do that, man. Don't go to the horse farm. It's a pretty simple fix to your problem.
Solved.
Or just chop your dick off.
Yeah. Hashtag reek. What do you like here, Jim? What's next?
The hospitals that are introducing the sperm extractor for men who don't want to masturbate. Can you go watch the video, Jake?
There's a video? I clicked the link. Did not see a video.
It's basically
oh no.
It's a fleshlight.
Right.
Okay, so it's an airport kiosk where you sign in.
Right.
With a fleshlight.
Oh.
At the penis level that vibrates and moves in and out. So it's like a robot fleshlight.
Yeah. These are going to be popular in the States.
These are sperm donation is it's gonna skyrocket.
Yeah.
In Japan. And if that's their goal, good for them. But this is like instead of Robert Kraft going to a day spa, he can just go to but then he might have a lot of kids, so that's troubling.
I mean, I'm picturing this. I mean, this is going to be the in-home model in a couple years. I mean, I'm picturing some guy getting ready in the morning, just brushing his teeth, getting a little robot tugger.
That's so true.
Right?
You just put it right by. You nailed it. These are going to be
just a daily routine.
Yeah. Wake up, insert, brush your teeth, comb your hair. Yeah, it's yeah. Well, wild.
Oh, and Jim, this isn't on the news. Dude, did you see there's a new like self-driving car commercial?
Are there? How long until we have to be like, yeah, I shouldn't have doubted that. Like when iPods came out and I was like, yeah, but I have a huge CD collection. I don't want to just get rid of all these CDs. So I was like, I don't need an iPod. And then about a year later, I was like, okay, fuck the CDs. iPods are the best thing in the world.
Right.
iPhone, I was like, I don't need my phone to do the internet. Like, what are you talking about? That's not a thing I need. And then it's like, yeah, now 2 years later, it's like, okay, fuck yeah, of course. How long am I going to be able to be like, I don't care about this until self-driving cars are the thing? Like everyone has one. I think 10 years.
Know what it's going to be? I would say 3 years. We're going to have the first like actual release, and it's kind of going to be like Tesla. Like people are going to say it's cool, but we're not going to really care. Like it's not going to affect your day-to-day life. Like you'll see 1 or 2, and you'll be like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'd say 5, 10. I'd say 10 years. Like if you don't have a self-driving car, you're going to be like an idiot.
10? No way.
Yeah.
I think I'll go 50 for that.
Yeah, 10 was pretty aggressive. I can say that now. I can say that now. But no, I definitely think when we're grandparents, I think we're going to be telling kids about self-driving. Like, we used to drive our cars. And they'll be like, shut the hell up.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, I think it's actually like an AT&T commercial. So, I mean, that sucks. But, like, the dad is texting and driving, and the son is in the backseat, and he's like, Dad, don't do that. It can wait. And then the dad's like, you're right. And then he stops texting. His seat swivels around, and he's sitting talking to his kid.
Weird.
Yeah.
I'm such a bad backseat driver that I don't know if I can trust a robot. Like, I can't trust my girlfriend, who's a fine driver.
I think there's jokes to be made there, and I will pass.
Yeah. Jess probably is excited about this because she's a self-described.
She couldn't be more excited. She hates driving. Like hates driving. She had to drive, like, so there's a tough, like, hill segment getting to the mountain. But dude, I was exhausted because I stayed up late with you, and then I had to wake up super early to get up the mountain. So I was DED dead. So I drive up there, we go skiing, and then we drive back. And I mean, I wasn't doing head nods, but I was exhausted. So I got through the first part of, like, the mountain, and I was like, Jess, you're gonna have to drive it home from here. I'm sorry. And she did it, but there's a couple times I woke up because internally, like, don't trust her driving.
Katie and I are both really bad passengers, and both prefer to drive. So we have, like, a change. We rotate. I let her drive most of the time. She gets car sick.
Right.
All right. What about this man that says his army of turtles is going to destroy us all?
Yeah. I mean, don't talk about it, be about it. That's her new favorite phrase.
Yeah. Army of turtles would be awesome. Oh, now I'm picturing Ninja Turtles, and
yeah,
it's not as awesome when they're just, like, on all fours.
Right.
Oh shit. There's a band I like called Trampled by Turtles, and they asked, like, how they got their name, and I think they said they were all high and thought about the worst way that you could die.
Trampled by turtles. Okay, that's interesting.
Just slowly getting crushed, I guess.
Yeah, it'd almost be starvation, I think.
What if they're those big ass sea turtles? They got some weight to them.
I mean, are they doing, like, body slams?
Yeah, I don't know how many it would work. You're right. You'd just be pinned down for, like, 3. Like, they need to trample you until you die of starvation.
How much does a Galapagos tortoise weigh? Here we are. Okay, 500 pounds. So if a couple of those really bring the hammer on your face and your chest, yeah.
Cool. It's possible. Yay.
I mean, these are Galapagos teas, though. I mean, these are the mothership.
Yeah. Well, if you want, that's what this guy better have. Imagine if he was like, my army of turtles is going to destroy you all. And the police officer was like, what kind of turtles they are? And he said anything but Galapagos. And the police officer was like,
well, Jim,
the
leatherback turtle can weigh between 550 and 2,000 pounds.
Leatherback turtle.
Leatherback turtle. How about that?
Yeah. They look like I'm not into the leatherback turtle. I'm not into those. Look at pictures. They look weird.
They're bad mothers. Yeah, their shell is, like, too sleek for what they're trying to do.
Yeah. They look like a Navy SEAL turtle. Like they're always on a mission.
I like that.
Go to the bet of the day.
Bet of the day. It's the bet of the day. Bet of the day. Bet of the day.
Bet of the day, bet of the day. Jakey, can he do it? He's over 500. No, he's back down to 500 because we lost on Knicks Pistons. So he's back to 500. He can't break through. He cannot. He's got a big board to look at today. He's got MLB games. He's got NHL playoffs. He's got Masters. He does not have NBA or men's basketball, I believe. Is that correct?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so what are you betting?
Jimmy, James, Jomboy, NHL playoffs, babe. We're here.
We're here.
And Jim, I'm just seeing one that looks odd for me, and I'm going to go for it, and it's a decent payoff. Winnipeg at home, down 1-0 in the series. They need a win, Jim. And I mean, it's Winnipeg minus 120, so it's not even payback, but it's a payback. I'm taking the Jets.
You've always been a Jet fan.
I mean, they can't lose their first 2 games at home.
They were up 1-0 in game 1 for a long time, and the Blues scored 2 in the third to take the lead.
I mean, Blake Wheeler, are you kidding me? He's got to step up. You know how much I like him.
The Jets Blues. Sounds like winter in New York. What's the line? Who's favored?
So Winnipeg is favored, but I mean, not by much. It's minus 120. So I think it'd be like 20 to win 18, basically. So I'm allowing it, and I'm taking it.
He's allowing it. He's taking it. I mean, I have no fucking idea. I don't know anything about either of these teams.
I mean, it's just when you got Mark Sheffley, distributing the puck for Winnipeg, and he's right. It's tough to stop their attack on the offense.
I'm going to flip my Gary button.
Okay.
Gary side up, I'm my own man. Gary side down, I agree with you.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Couple flips. And the final verdict is...
Jake is stupid, but he's smart.
Nice.
Go Jets, baby. Go Jets. The Gary button has us. Now, I feel bad because if you get this one wrong, you had a tough spread today for yourself.
Excuse me?
Like, you don't know much about this game.
What are you talking about? I mean, I know what Ryan O'Reilly and Tarasenko are going to bring for the Blues, and I just think Winnipeg's going to hone in on that. See, you've got that now, which is nice.
All right, that ends the show here. It ends the Friday show. Thank you guys for tuning in. And Jake, any parting words for the weekend?
Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Do plan one outdoor activity and enjoy that, and then just get free for the weekend. Masters, Thrones, hockey, basketball.
Inside weekend.
Inside weekend.
What's the song called? See you guys.